Hello my friends, David Burns here. I'm pumped and excited to tell you guys about feeding your bees in the fall. I'm going to take you on a tour of how I'm feeding my bees right now in a community feeder. Now, some of you may not be able to do this. Check with your state first. But I find it and have found it over the years to be very effective preventing robbing, because bees have a place to go and get a lot of what appears to them to be nectar, so they don't go into all my other hives and start robbing. Now, a lot of my hives today are actually going out on goldenrod. As you can see here, look at the goldenrod. This is just a little patch in my yard, but all around my area here in central Illinois, we have a lot of goldenrod. So the bees are actually out there collecting a lot of goldenrod right now. So look at how busy this hive is. And the date here today is September the 10th, pretty late, you know, for summer, right? But you can see how busy the bees are. All my colonies are like this. I'll try to get through here without getting bees in my hair, but see how busy this hive is. But I have started feeding my bees in a community feeder as well. Busy hives, bringing in a lot of stuff. This one here, not so busy. And then we have this one here, pretty busy. Now, a lot of these are going to a feeder I want to show you, and you're going to be shocked. Patrick and I have got to take you guys through my Lands hive here. I've had it for 2 years now. But notice the front, you don't see them foraging much or really headed out for that syrup supply over there. It looks like a typical day at the farm here. Let's look at this hive here. Big hive. Gosh, 3 supers above a queen excluder. So here, I would say average coming and going for this time of the year. Doesn't really look like they have found out about the syrup, or they don't really care or something. Of all the hives on the property, these are the ones hitting the syrup the most. More activity here. Probably not this one, but certainly this one. A lot more activity here on the syrup. And this one busier on the front. This one a lot busier on the front. Yep, the old flow hive here, pretty busy. Look at that super on top. Boy, that's seen its better days, hasn't it? Dang, that needs to be pulled out of commission, doesn't it? Look at this. Yeah, it's not bad on this side. Just up front, I guess. I just put in 3 gallons of sugar water. Do you hear it? All right, here we go. Wow, look at that. Look at that community feeder. So I don't know, I don't think there's much left in it. I had to put my hat and veil on because it is chaos. Nobody's going for pollen over there, but they're all going for the sugar water right there. So I got to refill that. Yikes, look at that. Isn't that crazy? Amazing. So I'm going to show you how I mix up this sugar water for my bees on my way to the shop. Here's, if you've never seen, there's a few more rooms that way, but this is the main bee shop that I work out of. I film a lot over here sometimes, and I'm going to show you how I mix up this solution. I got some hot water in here. Oh, by the way, that's a LIVESTREAM studio. It probably don't know where it exists, but it's in the corner pocket of this big room. And over here, look at this. I've got a staged area where I take everything out that I need. When Patrick and I are filming, it's kind of a nice little organized shelf where I've got all my oxalic stuff here, bee brushes, tools, marking pens, robber bandit gloves, all my Mite kit testing kits, my smoker, and, you know, things like that. So, cowboy hat up there. All right, let's get back to mixing the sugar up. So let me show you how I do it. And so I start with half of this container filled with water. A lot of you question whether you should use the measurements by weight or by volume. I'll leave an image right here. You can kind of see the difference of percentages of sugar it's such a small difference, it's not worth me fooling with. So I do 1 part water and then 1 part sugar, all right? And so let's go ahead and put the sugar in here. Oh no, first let's do the powder. Let's do the powder. You can use the same mixture in your jars if you want to do a quart. Yeah, I like to mix the powder first, and it dissolves pretty quickly like that. You can see it kind of turned it orange. Honeybee Healthy. Now I do like Honeybee Healthy. It is a feeding stimulant. It does have some benefits to it beyond that. Just the smallest amount that I can get in there, okay? Watch this. Oh, that is more than enough. How much is that? 10 drops. Let's say half a teaspoon. In open feeding like that, I don't need a lot. And that smells so strong. Now, the next thing I'm going to add is more protein, and that's going to be Amino B booster. So I do like getting protein into the bees this time of the year. So I'm going to add about this much, a little bit more, probably a teaspoon. This is a 2.5 gallon container. So I'm making 2.5 gallons. And I know you're going to leave comments wanting exact measurements if you make a pint, or if you make a gallon, or if you make 20 gallons. Do your own calculations. Whoa! Where are you, Patrick? I about broke my camera. Patrick's coming out day after tomorrow to film. I'm doing some filming on my own. So, okay, so now it is how to bring the sugar content up. So I'm going to pour it in there. This is a 10-pound bag. And, ooh, that took it all. Yeah, 1 to 1. All right, here we go. Now we got to stir up good. Now, the reason I have to do this inside, I early on would mix this outdoors. And oh my gosh, I would have, no matter where I went on my 5 acres, I would have 15, 20 bees in here right off the bat. I mean, as soon as they saw me mixing this, and then it just grows, and they get in the water, and they can't swim, you know. So we're going to take this back out there. Stay tuned. This is going to be brutal. I've got to pour it in there while there's, how many bees are out there? At least 20,000 bees are out there on it now. And I'm going to add this again. And this will take them through the end of the day. Fortunately, I don't have to do this. I have to do this twice a day. So I'm feeding 5 gallons a day in an open feeder. And it is drained both times that I feed them 5 gallons. But this doesn't take care of the weaker hives. We saw one hive that was a little weaker, not sending out a lot of foragers. So that's why my Burns feeder board is really the best way to feed your bees, I think. Now, I am wearing my jacket. I'm not wearing my big bee suit because I don't need a big bee suit. Some of you have said, why aren't you wearing your bee suit? Why are you wearing your jacket? To me, each of these have their specific call, right? Sometimes I just need a hat and a veil. Sometimes I need a jacket. Sometimes I need a bee suit. So like I said in earlier videos, I need a bee suit when I do the solid vaporization because I have to slide things in on my screen bottom board, and that irritates the bees a little bit. But this job, I just want to make sure I don't have to worry about my hands and all, because when I pour that in there, they're going to be so flighty. They're not trying to sting me, but they're going to get in my hair. They're going to get caught in my sleeves. I don't want to deal with that. We got a lot more to show you in this video. I hope you're enjoying everything that I teach you guys in beekeeping. But please subscribe to my channel. A lot of you view my channel, but you're not subscribing yet. And I'm out here with bees all over me all the time, working bees, trying to help you be a better beekeeper. Hit the subscribe button right now. I appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up. Now let me show you more about feeding bees. All right, looks like this is the best place to stand right here. And indeed, it is bone dry. So let's fill her up. All right, 2.5 gallons. And like I said, I don't have many bees on my protein powder over there at all. The pollen substitute. Most of my bees right now are going just for the sugar water, and they're filling that up. And they're taking that down very quickly. Well, of course, one of the ways I love to feed bees, and I really encourage you to feed your bees this way, and this takes care of bees that are maybe in a weaker colony that can't go out and forage in a community feeder, or maybe you're just not allowed to or don't want a community feed, then obviously this is my go-to method of feeding. It's a board that I actually created, invented. Take a look at how these bees are doing. Now, before I talk about another way to feed your bees this fall that I use is really helpful, I want to jump in here real quick and say, please join me for my live stream on Thursday. Just coming up, if you're watching this today, it's published. It's going to be coming out tomorrow, my live stream at 7 p.m. Central Time. I'm giving away a brand new Sting Stopper full bee suit, ventilated. I think it's 3 layers. It's awesome. I'm going to give that away at $200 value. So be sure and watch that live stream Thursday, September the 11th at 7 p.m. Central Time. Now let's get back in. Let me show you another way that's helpful to feed bees in the fall during a dearth. These have been on for about 1 week. This is the feeder board down there that I use. You can see the bees right here and how they're actually looking for more food. Seeing the screen there? But these are empty. You can change these out under the screen. Bees don't fly out and get you. And works really great. Let's fill those up too. In addition to giving my bees sugar water and the option for more protein powder, look at this. I'm also giving them plain water. Now look at that. I threw a sock in there so that it would help the bees suck out some of the moisture out of the sock. But look how they're going for the water-soaked log. They seem to like that pretty good. Getting some nutrition out of that decaying log, obviously, but look how their abdomens are just pumping as they drink that water. Probably taking it back to weaken down some honey so they can get it more diluted to feed their bees in the brood area. There also might be cooling the hive. It's about 86 degrees. It warmed up again. We had a cold snap. Now we got a warm snap. But feeding is a good, but giving them a good water source in the fall, because that can always be good too. Well, there's so many different things you can do with bees and different ways you can feed them. Again, I love to use my Burns feeder board. Many of you, hundreds if not thousands of you, are buying those this year, so thank you. That's a good way to feed a weak colony or even a strong colony in a time of dearth. And I know you're probably going through a dearth, minus the goldenrod right now, but you can see even though there's goldenrod out there, you can see the bees are still very much interested in getting as much syrup as they can in order to beef up for winter. Now, a lot of beekeepers ask me questions about this goldenrod, and there are some bees on here now. And a lot of people feel like goldenrod just isn't the best of nectar source that beekeepers would want to use. Honey, you know, when you extract your honey, some people say it tastes different, it has a different flavor to it, and it does. I've harvested it in years past, and I do know it tastes different. Some people don't like the flavor. Some beekeepers even don't feel that it's good to overwinter with just goldenrod honey like this. I don't think it's bad. It is a single source. It's a single pollen source. You need a variety of pollen. But hey, it's better than nothing at all. If you want to see a video that I made recently about a package that I installed, I always like to keep one of our packages that we sell. I monitored it once a week for you here on YouTube. And the last video I shot, it has a queen issue. So I gave them a new queen out of a mating box. They have a supersedure cell, and I think they have a virgin queen out on a mating flight. So we're going to see which of those 3 queens win. So watch this video right over here. I'll see you guys there.